Hello, 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 nation. What is going on? I'm so excited today for our Earth Week. We are celebrating with Aquarium of the Pacific, or should I say cephalo-brating with Aquarium of the Pacific. And we are going to bring you a virtual octopus encounter. These are so much fun because typically if you go to an aquarium, you might see an octopus in the corner. But here on, on OctoNation and with Aquarium of the Pacific, we actually get to do a lot of fun activities. So we are going to bring in Aquarist Angelina right now and say hi. Hello, hello. What is going on?
Hey, I'm so happy to be doing this Earth Day celebration with you guys. Hopefully we'll get to meet Groot, and hopefully he's in a good mood today to say hi to everyone on OctoNation.
I've seen Groot all over the social medias. It seems like he's always in a good mood. So I'm excited to meet him with everybody. But Angelina, I noticed your hair was wet. Do you want to tell us what you just got done doing?
Well, I'm not all dolled up for this live today because I was just scuba diving. I was cleaning one of our exhibits today. Not the octopus exhibit, but one of our tropical exhibits this morning.
Awesome. And for those of you who are just now joining in, just wanted to give a couple of minutes for those of you who are just joining in. Let us know where you're tuning in from. And also, if you're watching with a little one, put their name in the comment section. Let us know that, where you're watching from and what your names are. And we'll get started here. I was just going to refresh to see. I see that we're here. I see that over 100 people are joining us live. That's so amazing. I'm going to open this up so I can see everybody's comments. We have Daisha here. Hey, Daisha, what's going on? We got Long Beach in the house. Missouri here is California. Tamara says, hi, Angelina and Groot. We got hello from Connecticut, Virginia, Colorado. Awesome. We have people from all over. That's so awesome. So what are we going to get started with doing today, Angelina?
Well, we have to my right locked enclosure, and that is for our beautiful octopus Groot. As you know, they're master escape artists, so we're gonna open it up, and hopefully oh my gosh, he's already trying to escape across the way.
He wants to come to my operation.
Awesome. I was trying. Oh, look at him.
Making his way out of the water.
I was trying to get my head out of the way. Let me try to get my head out of the way and make you guys bigger. There we go. Awesome. Hey, Groot. Hey, Groot. So tell us what you're doing.
So I'm starting off with splashing him to see if he's interested in coming over. It's one of the new techniques I'm using with him before I put in the grabber. So he starts associating splashing the water with feeding sessions. So it's just part of his training process. If he doesn't come over right away, I will show him the grabbers, which he already knows means it's feeding time.
He's gorgeous. Everybody say hi, Groot, in the comment section. We need to convince him to come over to us. We got a bunch of people watching the group. Kira says, I love him. Gail says, I can't hear Angelina. Is it that she's quiet or that you can't hear her?
We'll talk a little louder on our side. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, there's a lot of noise back there. A lot of filtration and stuff like that. Ooh, Groot gave us a little squirt. Hey, Groot, you're gorgeous. For those of
you who... As you can see, he would have no problem crawling out if he wasn't enclosed, but he does know that I'm here to feed him and that Madeline's here to feed him. So he is sitting ready and waiting. Today we have 3 different enrichment devices that we'll let you guys choose which one you want to give to him when we're ready to feed him after he's done saying hello to us. And on the menu today, we have some of his favorites. We have crab, mussel, and clam.
Yum. For those of you who are also watching, if you see Groot and you have any questions, if you're thinking something or you're wondering, I know that a lot of people's questions are, what does Groot feel like when you touch his skin?
What does he feel like?
That is one of my favorite questions. So on the side where his suction cups are, this is very sticky. So he is sticking to me right now. It doesn't hurt. I'm not sure if you can hear the bubble wrap sound.
For sure.
So that sounds like bubble wrap popping. Those are his sticky suction cups. I just grabbed his food, so I probably taste very similar to the food that I picked out for him today, because that's what I just touched. Last thing I touched with my hands. They taste with their suction cups, so that's the sticky part. And then they are invertebrates, so they don't have any bones inside of their body, but they're very strong. Their arms are all muscle. So they can bend any which way because there's no bones, but that muscle, it feels pretty hard. But if you just touch an octopus gently, like touch him on his head, touch him on his arms, he feels really slimy.
Awesome. And I see his eyes are open too. Do you think he recognizes you because you've played with him so much?
If he doesn't recognize me by taste, I think he definitely knows what I look like now. He's been with me for quite a few months now.
Awesome. And somebody says, Anne asked, how many times does Groot eat per day?
How many times does he eat a day?
So we offer him food pretty much daily, but because he's so small right now, he's only 9 pounds. Giant Pacific octopuses can get to be about 110 pounds. And he lives in cold water, which means they have a little bit of a slower metabolism, so they don't need to eat as often. He's eating about 3 times a week by his choice, even though it's offered daily. Sometimes he's just not interested, and it could be because it's the food I'm offering. Just like us, we want to make sure we have a variety in our diet, and sometimes Groot doesn't like eating not his favorites. Today he's getting his favorites, but we do want to make sure to keep a healthy diet that he is offered everything that he would eat naturally. But he doesn't necessarily like all of those things.
And something that you mentioned was that if he doesn't recognize you by taste, are you saying his suckers are actually tasting you?
His suckers are tasting me right now.
Awesome.
So he can probably recognize me more so by taste, which is probably what our food prep kitchen smells like, tastes like. But they also have pretty decent vision. Their vision's similar to ours. So they can see pretty well. Of course, where they're found naturally, sometimes the water is very murky. So obviously they can't see through the murkiness. But yeah, their vision would be about as good as ours underwater. If we were diving in low visibility, they can see as much as we can see.
We have somebody saying that they disagree with the slimy. They think they feel velvety. That's a good description too. That's a good description. We have Jason. He's with his kiddo. He said, "How can they change color from a 5-year-old?"
So inside their body, they have different cells, and those cells, as they expand and contract, those are what causes their color change and their texture change. So basically, as soon as they see something, they will instantly change to that color. The cool thing is that they don't see so much in color as they see in shades of black and white and gray. So Groot, his color range is going to be from white, and he can camouflage himself really well on these rocks when he's trying to hide. Right now he's red because he's excited, but the deeper you go swimming or scuba diving, red becomes an invisible color, and you can't see it with your eye. So they can change it, makes their skin textured, make their skin mottled, using those specialized cells. So you can see as I'm petting him, he's not swimming away, so he doesn't mind this. He just made his skin a little bumpy.
Yeah, most people when like you interact with an octopus like that, they're like, would he swim away if he wasn't a fan of that, or what? How do you typically interact with them? Do they like to be pet, do you think?
So each one's different. This one does happen to like being touched. When I weigh him, it's really easy. A lot of times I have to trick an octopus into a laundry basket to weigh them because they're not sure. They're skeptical of me where I'm taking them. He is so curious, and he'll climb right into a laundry basket to get weighed willingly. And just last time I weighed him, he just sat in the laundry basket for the rest of the day in the water. He
Awesome.
took his food, ate his food inside there. He utilized it as his cave and just hung out. If I touch something, let's say I took something gross that he didn't like the taste of, or maybe one of his least favorite foods, he would unstick from me. So if he didn't like me petting him or didn't like his head being touched or anything like that, he would leave. He would leave this enrichment session right now, this encounter.
Yeah, and we've seen, like, I've been there before, and, you know, sometimes, and even just other places that I've been to, you know, some octopuses, they don't even come up. Like, they'll come up to get food, and then they'll immediately swim away. So I guess every octopus has kind of like a different behaviors, right?
Yeah, they're all a little bit different. Some of them enjoy interactions more than others. I've had some that prefer interacting with me when I'm in the water scuba diving. Whereas Groot, when I'm scuba diving in here, he's actually not curious or interested in me, which is nice for me because it makes my job a little bit easier because he's not trying to steal things from me or take my mask off so I can't see underwater. Anything he can stick to, he'll try to get to, and that's how other octopus that I've worked with have been. And he'll just kind of leave me alone, move out of the way as I'm cleaning that section, and then go back to his spot, which makes it a little easier for cleaning.
We have Hannah here. She asked, how long can he be out of water for?
Comfortably, probably for about like 15, 20 minutes. Quite a while. So he's holding water in when he's like pulling himself out. He is holding water inside of his mantle. So his body portion right here looks like a head, but that's his whole body. All his organs are right here, including his gills. And so when he pulls himself out, he still has water inside of there. So he's still able to breathe.
Awesome. Yeah, let's see. We have a lot of people that said, Colin asked, what career steps did you take to get to this position?
So I knew I've always wanted to be a marine biologist. I just didn't know what job I wanted. So what I started doing was taking the job I thought I wanted for a test drive. And I guarantee you, I did not think I wanted to be an octopus keeper. That was not on the list. That is something that I ended up just having an open mind to, and got a job as an aquarist after volunteering and interning and realizing that this is the job that I love. And then this is the job that I have. So I went to school and studied marine biology. I volunteered at the Shed Aquarium in Chicago. I volunteered at this aquarium, Aquarium of the Pacific in Long Beach. Then I started getting paid and getting a job and just working my way up from a part-timer. And then once I started working here, I wanted to learn more, do more with conservation. And I ended up getting my master's degree in biology. So I'm still here, this is still my career.
Yeah, and this is what we're doing right now. And let me know if in the chat if you agree. This is a really fun extension of all of the, you know, the school that you've been to. Being able to bring people these octopus encounters online is just, I think it's so amazing. So for people that maybe can't afford to go to the aquarium or don't have access to transportation to get to one, I hope that this inspires you to on this Earth Week where we're celebrating, you know, environmental protection, to start thinking about these things, and eventually one day maybe head over to Aquarium of the Pacific to meet Angelina. So we have Maggie wants to know where is his mouth?
So his mouth is where all 8 of his arms meet in the center. Kind of, you can't really see it. There's a ball of muscle that holds in his beak. So right in there, that middle part, that is where his mouth is. And you heard me correctly. I did say beak. Octopus have a beak like a bird inside of their mouth. And that's what they use. It's the only hard part of their body to chew their food, like crabs. Some octopus, like this one's mildly venomous in their saliva. So if they bite something like a crab, not a human, that crab can be incapacitated from that light amount of venom, and then they're able to eat it.
Awesome. And I also noticed too, like, you can't really see the beak, and I was curious, so do they have lips? Would you say they have lips?
I would say so this is a beak. It has some salt on it because we're drying it out. We're still trying to work on preserving it.
Okay.
So this is from an adult giant Pacific octopus. And so you can see it's like not so sharp, but it does look almost like, if you just look at this part, like a parrot's beak.
Mm-hmm. And I noticed too, most birds have like an overbite. Octopuses have an underbite, right?
Octopuses have an underbite versus birds have an overbite.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see here. Let's see. Any more questions? Yes, dynamic camouflage, right? For my 6-year-old grandson. Yes. Very interesting facts. Vanessa says he's so trusting of you, willing to come out of the water to interact with you. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Since day one, I have proven to him that I'm not a threat. Their octopus are always very skeptical when they meet you because they don't know what you are, what you're going to do with them. And then once I started feeding him, within a few weeks, he started feeling very comfortable working with me.
We have someone here that asks, are they affectionate or expressive?
Not so much affectionate in the way that like a dog is affectionate, but they're definitely expressive. He'll, if I'm not feeding him fast enough, he'll shoot water at us. When he's excited, he turns that bright red color, but it's a lot of me trying to interpret what he's thinking by observing his behaviors and his color changes and everything.
We have a lot of great questions.
Hey Warren, I think it's time for us to choose an enrichment device.
Oh, yes. Okay, so we have to choose an enrichment device.
Yeah.
So Madeline, let us know what our options are.
All right. So, hi everybody. My name's Madeline. I'm on the social media team here at the Aquarium of the Pacific, and we are going to do a very fun Kraken enrichment with little Groot here. So we have an egg, a ball, or a boat. So let us know which enrichment device you guys want to see. All of them are really cool, I will say. It is really cool to see all of them. Obviously, this one's closed, so it'll take a little bit longer for him to open it. But I think he's got the egg behavior down, right, Angelina?
Yeah,
this one's a ball.
Yeah, someone just actually asked what his favorite toy was, so I guess we're going to figure out. But those of you in the comment section, let us know the boat, the ball, or the egg. Which one would you guys like? We got one for boat. We said ball. Colin said the egg is seasonal. We got egg again. Let's see. Still getting answers in. Egg. We got a lot for the egg. People are wanting him to see the egg.
Winning. I think the egg is winning. All right.
Yeah. Let's do the egg.
Egg.
I open it. Oh, the muscles inside.
Muscles inside the egg. It's happening.
So we put some water in it.
There you go, Groot.
Yes, Jeff, there's a treat in the egg. There's muscles in there. So what's he doing right now? He's trying to figure out what it is, or he knows what it is, and he's just like, oh, I just have to get it in the right section, or what do you think he's thinking?
So the last one I gave him was a much larger egg. So this is the first time he's getting the smaller blue egg. So he knows what he's supposed to do. This one actually might be a little easier for him to figure out how to open. But he looks like an egg now that he engulfed it. So he'll work on cracking it open, and then as the food starts to fall out, some of it may fall out of the egg, and he'll have to go find it in the exhibit later.
Oh, it looks like he's moving it around.
He's working it. I just love, you can see him change colors while he's, working on the egg. You can see him kind of going through like, okay, what
he even just blew up some, it looks like little like bubbles here. So when he shot out water from his siphon, he kind of filled up his the webbing between his arms. He looks a little bubbly now.
Somebody said, I think my dog has that same ball.
Well, they don't make octopus toys when you go to Target and stuff, so we have to improvise. Zoo Kong makes a lot of like zoo animal indestructible toys. So we have a couple of those for our octopus as well, but pretty much if it says non-destructible for a dog, it might work for the octopus, but even they sometimes figure out how to break it apart.
So you can see he's kind of changing colors too while he's down there.
Yeah, he's a lot more mottled now. That's what it's called, right, Angelina?
Yes.
This kind of like a spotted white and red.
This is him trying to figure it out, trying to figure out this egg.
It's his thinking color.
And that egg floats. I did put some water in it, but it still floats. So he's hanging on to it and not letting it come up to the surface.
I think he's figuring it out pretty fast.
He might be. For some of our other holiday enrichment items that we've used, I gave him a box with a snowman on it, and he figured out how to open that in less than 20 seconds. So when it comes to enrichment for Groot, he's very smart and figures out most of his enrichment fairly quickly. So then I have to brainstorm and come up with something new and keep doing something different to make sure that his mind is still active, that he's being physically active in his exhibit. I like hiding things inside the exhibit for him to find, like crabs and clams, where I can hide it in the rocks or under in the sand, and he has to go through exploring looking for it.
He's almost completely blended in down there too.
Yeah, he is really good at camouflaging with the background in this exhibit and making that like spotty, grainy pattern.
You can see the bubbles coming up from that egg.
Oh, I think we got it open.
Up. There.
He's less of an egg shape now and more of a half egg shape. So we got it open. I think he did it. Oh yeah, I see the muscles coming out. I saw an anemone grab one.
Great muscles on him.
Oh, there's the egg.
There's the egg. Here it comes. He's done with it. Oh, that was awesome.
Oh, he's still holding on to it.
Great job, Groot. Everybody in the comment section put great job, Groot.
Yeah, let's give some round of applause for Groot. He did awesome. That was his first time with that enrichment device. That was so cool. Look at it blending in so well now. He's gonna hang out with his muscles.
That's so awesome. Those of you who are watching, definitely if you have any more questions, definitely ask. Colin says, have you ever tried one of those Russian dolls, the egg and an egg and an egg or something like that?
That'd be fun.
That might be interesting.
Egg inside of an egg.
I've done something similar. So these eggs are a nesting set of eggs, so I can put them all inside each other. I haven't done it with him yet, where he has to keep opening them. The wooden Russian nesting dolls, those wouldn't do well with the salt water. So if we can find a plastic set, I am willing to try it.
Groot, I could watch you all day long. I think octopuses are just one of the most fascinating creatures, and I think this is such a cool way just to see an octopus interact, because most people don't really get to see things like this. So if you guys have any final questions, definitely put them in the comment section below. We're gonna let Groot get back to his day there. It is Earth Week, and tomorrow is Earth Day, and was just really curious, Angelina, for people that are watching, how would you say they could celebrate or learn more about Earth Day? You know, what is something that maybe they could do to celebrate it?
There are so many resources online, but I think my best piece of advice to celebrate Earth Day is just to go outside wherever you are. Whether you are in California, you can go to the tide pools and look around and just spend some time observing nature. While you're there, if you are at the beach or at a tide pool or in a forest or in a field, wherever you happen to live across the country, feel free, pick up some trash, throw it out. One of the newest things I just shared with a group of students, we are still in the middle of the pandemic right now, and some of our masks that we're using are not reusable masks, which is fine, but when you throw them away, you want to make sure to clip the elastic on them if they are disposable masks, so that doesn't end up blowing into the ocean. Since they are so light, we see them all over outside of the aquarium, and we try to pick up as many as we can safely, wearing gloves, snipping the tags, but they're really light, so they do blow out of the trash can. So that's a conservation message that we haven't ever had to think about previously. So it's definitely something that we can add into our, when we throw out our masks.
Yeah, that's one of the first times I've ever heard that. So I think that's something where, if anybody watching could tell maybe one of their friends that goes to throw out a mask, definitely clip those things that go behind your ears, the elastic or whatever you want to call it, prior to throwing them away. That's really, really good. Jason says, when you go to the beach, a trash bag and just fill one bag of trash that's not yours. That's smart. So yeah, there's tons of things that you can do. I guess we had a question that Krista says, how long do giant Pacific octopuses live for?
How long do they live for, giant octopuses?
So giant Pacific octopuses, they have a longer lifespan of most cephalopods and octopuses. They live for about 3 to 5 years. So it doesn't seem very long to us, but for a giant Pacific octopus, that is a really long time. And I'd mentioned Groot, I don't know if I mentioned it at the beginning, but Groot weighs about 9 pounds right now. We estimate he's somewhere between 3 and 4 years old. But full grown, he can be up to 110 pounds. And so within the next year, he's going to gain somewhere between like 50 and 100 pounds. So it's going to be pretty amazing to watch him grow. And I know you guys at OctoNation keep up with Groot, so hopefully you guys will get to see him grow to that giant size.
Yes, and somebody asked too, my 9-year-old is dying to know how an octopus poops. I actually have a video of that. I can put it in the comment section. Aquarium of the Pacific has a video of that. So I'll definitely put that in the comment section.
Perfect.
It looks like silly string.
It does look like silly string. So if you ever go to an aquarium and there's a bunch of what looks like gray or white silly string inside, the algae wrapped in there, that is octopus poop. And they are so good. They use their siphon in their head and their mantle. That siphon that they use to shoot ink, to shoot out jets of water, they also use that as the toilet flusher inside of their head. So they will leave their cave. They don't want to poop in their cave. They will exit their cave, go to the bathroom, and then go back in.
That's hilarious. Well, thank you all so much for joining us here today, OctoNation and Aquarium of the Pacific. I had a blast. It was really great to see Groot open up that egg. I'm definitely going to go back and watch that. I'm going to time it to see how long it took. He did so good. Angelina, thank you so much for the work that you're doing at Aquarium of the Pacific. Madeline, you're a rock star on social media. Thank you for continuing Aquarium of the Pacific's mission through social media. You're brilliant. Yes, so anything you all want to say before we head off for Earth Day?
Oh, this is so much fun. You can actually visit the aquarium in person and come see Groot, the giant Pacific octopus, yourself if you'd like.
Indoor exhibits are open.
Yeah, they reopened in the middle of March and we're so excited. So you just have to make a reservation in advance, and you can do so on our website at aquariumofpacific.org.
I will definitely be doing that soon. I will, because I want to come hang out with Groot, and I'll bring everybody along.
See you, Warren.
Awesome. Well, everybody, you all have a great day, and we'll chat soon. Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye.